Hi, I'm Elkie Holland from Prospectus IT Recruitment, and I'm here with Mike Ruane from Revelation Software. Revelation have been a provider of multi-value software products and services since, when is it, 1980?
1982.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for talking with me today.
No problem. Glad to help.
Thank you. I was going to say, before we start, could you just clarify, we're obviously going to talk about IBM and U2 and all that, but could you clarify whether you see yourselves as a competitive or a complementary product to U2? Could you position yourself?
I would say that we're almost both. We both provide multi-value databases. However, Revelation has primarily provided multi-value databases for the PC and local area network world. We started off on the PC back in 1982. Nowadays, we have a tendency to probably compete with each other a little bit. The U2 product line working better on enterprise and Revelation working better for smaller groups, departmental and smaller organizations. But we actually have a very nice front end for the U2 databases. So we have a nice graphical front end. So we have a number of similar customers. We both have the same customers in a number of cases.
Okay. So did you know, or what was your reaction, and when did you hear the news about the IBM announcement this week selling U2?
Like everybody else, I was probably surprised when I received the email. I think it was from International Spectrum in the multi-value update. The next day, I received a phone call from Jackie at IBM telling us that it had happened, that they were reaching out. And also, I sent out an email to Susie at IBM telling her congratulations and good luck with this endeavor. But that was the first time that we had heard about it, so it sort of caught us by surprise. Okay. I hadn't heard that the U2 family of products was on the block, available for sale. Not that I would have done anything with it myself, but it was a surprise, I guess, to most of the user.
Okay. What do you know about Rocket so far, then?
Well, we're actually familiar with Rocket in that a number of our customers use some of their mainframe front-end emulation tools. They have something called Blue Zone. I know that they're pretty good with business intelligence. I have the opinion that they are more keyed towards mainframes, large enterprise applications, not so much towards the smaller enterprises.
Okay.
I know exactly where the building is because I drove by it about 2 weeks ago.
At least you'll be able to go there. Do you think it's actually going to have any effect on your business at all?
I don't see any near-term impact on our business. Rocket's a very stable company. Software goes there, and they've done a great job of taking software that someone may have abandoned in the past and it was to be orphaned off. They've come in there, they've resurrected the software, they've enhanced it, so they may be able to breathe some new life into U2. Not actually that U2 needs it. No, U2 is doing fine. Whatever IBM's reason was for selling it, or maybe Rocket just made a good enough case to buy it. But I don't think that it's going to impact our business immediately. I'm hoping that without the U2 salespeople having to sell so many other databases, the DB2s and whatever the current push is at IBM for database technology, that maybe we can do some more work together, Revelation and IBM. Or Revelation, holy cow, Revelation and Rocket.
Okay. I was going to say 2 R's together. Do you actually think, I mean, obviously, people are very concerned about the loss of the IBM badge, the name IBM. Do you think that's a major issue for people or not?
It was certainly nice to have it. We used to have names like PIC, InterSystems, then we had Informix for a while. Revelation's always been in there, but pretty much not mentioned the same breath with these other players. So it has a certain amount of impact that's going to be lost now. Rocket doesn't sound as impressive yet as IBM, but in 2 years or 5 years, who knows? But as I understand it, I recall that IBM's internal systems, a number of them were running U2-based databases. So there's always the good references that were made when U2 was owned by IBM.
Okay. I mean, your users have been selling Revelation systems anyway without the IBM tag, so you feel that it's quite feasible and possible anyway. It's not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these guys have been selling software through all these different owners through all the years, right? There was Ardent, there was Informix, there's IBM, now there's Rocket. I mean, it may be for many of the VARs and the resellers that it's just beat the new boss, same as the old boss. No real big difference there. except for the loss of that nice, big, well-known IBM name. But in most cases, multi-value solutions sell themselves on their own merits. If it actually came down to someone saying, this is a great multi-value application sold by SAP, I don't know if it would make it any better than if someone said it's sold by Rocket. The technology is good, the business intelligence that's built into them, the cultural knowledge that the most multi-value developers have about their markets is so good that they have a tendency to sell on their own merits.
Okay. One last question, if I could. What I tend to be hearing is sort of like, it's the death knell, it's the nail in the coffin and all this because we're losing the IBM label. What is your real take on that? Do you think that is the case?
Not at all. I think that I've been working in multi-value for 20 years, so I'm a relative newcomer compared to what those I've worked with. And in all that time, I've been hearing it's the death knell, it's about to end. When the minis disappeared and the mainframe started to go away and the PCs came up, it's multi-value, it's never going to work again. No one needs this technology. SQL Server is going to take over the world. Somehow we're still here. We still have our couple of million users in our sites. We've made it through the recession in a good state. I'm sure that the other multi-value developers have done the same. It's, again, as I said before, it's, meet the new boss, meet the old boss. That there is someone now who may have the ability to give the U2 group a little more free. I understand that Susie will be running this new business arm, I guess, of this division, whatever it might be called, at Rocket. And I would bet that I suspect, and I have no knowledge of this, but I just suspect that she was probably held back a little bit by the IBM rules. And that at Rocket, that she'll be able to do a little bit more of what she has for her vision for the U2 group and actually make it happen. So in the end, while the U2 users, developers, resellers have lost those three magical letters, I bet they get a lot more innovation out of Rocket software. So I think it's going to be a good thing for their customers overall.
So basically carry on making good software and it will continue to sell without the badge.
I agree.
Okay. Mike, thank you very much for your time today and agreeing to speak with me.
Oh, thanks very much.